for which, as you rightly said, we narrowed it down to the top 16.
Top 16, sure.
Which includes 2 goalkeepers and 14 infield players. These trials were being headed by, of course, Coach Kimanzi, who's the head coach at Mathare. We have our brand ambassador as well, Dennis Oliech, who was part of the coaching team. We had sent him down to South Africa for some coaching training as well to prepare him for this. Exactly, yeah.
Many Kenyans will actually identify with Dennis Oliech, and you may not, come to understand how grateful this country will be for Betway, coming in and then picking out Dennis Oliech to actually headline this talent search. How did you arrive at Oliech anyway? Dennis
Oliech has a great career, in a soccer career, which started from when he was a young boy, and we saw him growing from playing in Kenya, from playing in international leagues.
Sure.
And this is a person who we felt worked well with our brand in terms of professionalism and talent, and someone who we feel has a clean record and has grown well his career. We also had a chat with him, and he wanted to give back to the society.
Sure.
And so we feel that partnership helps give him a platform to do exactly that. He has a lot to share, a lot of passion around soccer, and maybe by partnering with him, we'll be able to grow and popularize, soccer in this country and give players across the country, hope and a chance to know where to go to get their talent seen and maybe to join some Kenyan leagues.
I saw from the day it started, you said that you are targeting youth between the age of 18 to 25. I'm very sure they should be identifying with Dennis Oliech because they must have watched him play.
Yes, they were very excited, the those that made it to the actual trials, to be in his presence and to have him coaching and giving them advice. He was a very good striker and had a lot to share in terms of technique and the mental aptitude.
Yeah. Exactly. Mathare United CEO Jecton Obure, how does Mathare come into play in this talent identification? I'm aware that you are sponsored by Betway. Yeah. So far, what is your input? What is the input of Mombasa United in this talent search?
First of all, thank you for hosting me here. This is my first time to be here. But then, the issue of talent search, as you know, Mombasa United is associated with the MISA, Mombasa Youth Sport Association. And we believe in, youth talents, and we have academies. So when we had this agreement with Betway, I think it just came the right time because we knew that, like Francis Kimanzi is one of the top coaches in Kenya, and his assistant, Salim Ali. And with Dennis Oliech being our former also player, we thought that, the whole idea of talent search is to bring these young boys, and these are young boys who've never played in the Kenyan Premier League, actually. So the whole idea was, like Wanja said, to bring them together so that it can also help other coaches. At the end of the day, somebody might ask, what about the 15 remaining? What about the other ones? But it was, when we talk of talent search, we also invited other top coaches just to come and witness what these young boys are doing in their counties and to showcase what they have. So I think that it was a very good idea. Very good idea with the Betway partnership, partnering with Mombasa United, so that we can see the way forward. And as you know, their players, I'm 100% sure that they'll find themselves in the Premier League come next season.
But by looking out the Kenya Premier League players, don't you think maybe your net would have maybe avoided one talent that could fit into West Ham?
What we wanted to do is to give a chance to players who have no chance or platform to be seen at all. And those that are already in the Premier League, have a chance to play and to be seen. But also, as Jecton has just said, is for coaches when they're scouting, these are people that they may never have come across because they're from across the country. And in some of their counties, they may or may not have leagues or platforms to show their talent. So we're very clear on what we're trying to do, which is to grow talent to people and players who don't have that opportunity in their day-to-day life.
What exactly are the coaches looking at? Because I've seen Kimanzi there, I've seen Yusuf Chipo, I've seen, who else there? That's
Salim.
Gabriel
Salim Ali, Gabriel Njoroge was there.
Yeah, what are they looking for in particular?
with the coaches, they know what they look for. But in terms of the best out of, one player who is the best out of the 16, who's gonna be in, the West Ham United Academy. Yeah. So they're looking at these are players who've never been into Premier League or any other, league
setup.
A setup, and they just want to see the capability of this player. It might be a goalkeeper. What are the skills that this goalkeeper has? Maybe a defender, maybe a midfielder, maybe a striker. So they have that technical know-how, to see the kind of a player that they want, because they want the best out of them. Imagine there were 1,600, 1,600. Out of
then
that,
whittle down to
we are to 16. Now it's only one who is going. So if you look at all these top coaches, and when they put their heads together, then I know they'll have one of the best to represent the country.
And just to add to that, there's also, obviously, there's different players within the field and the goalkeepers as well. The technique, the physique, the physical, and also the mental aptitude, how they're responding on the pitch. Yeah. So there's quite a few items that they'll be looking at in each player.
But then maybe another coach would tell you that it will take a longer period of time, to identify the player with the right mentality, with the right technique, with the right maybe physique. Don't you think 2 or 3 weeks is too short a time to get one player?
What we've done is after choosing the final 16, we have an elite training camp where we have, of course, Francis Kimanzi, the head coach, as well as several West Ham coaches who will be coming into Kenya for that elite camp.
To participate in the elite camp?
That's correct.
The 16.
And to look out for the talent that they're looking for. A little bit of training, but also during the playing in that camp, they'll be able to identify the person with the best techniques or potential player, and that is the person who will get the grand prize to West Ham United.
One of the issues that was raised by some of the players, they called in actually the Standard. They know this is the home of champions. They ask why would Betway decide that the application is done electronically, and most of them in the far-flung regions cannot access.
It's a good question, and to be fair, this is our first talent search that we have embarked on in this country. We did learn a lot, and that was one of the things where some people felt locked out if they were not able to register online or on SMS. There was also SMS that they could have used.
Sure.
Another thing we learned is that women don't want to be locked out of these. So there's a lot of learning that came out of this Toscade, and we will take it into consideration going forward because we do intend to hold more of these.
Mombasa United and MISA have really done a lot to alleviate, crime in Madare Valley. We know quite a number of Madare players, I would say, were saved from such criminal activities. Unfortunately, there are a few former Madare United players who are also incarcerated. But then when I saw your program, you said that you don't want anyone with a criminal record participating in this talent search. Weren't you too harsh? Were you too locking the doors for some of these kids?
Generally speaking, it was a countrywide thing. So most people came from other counties, and at the same time, everybody else. And when you grow up, we grow under harsh conditions, yes. And maybe you find yourself involved in such kind of activities. But what I can assure you is that through the MISA programs and the Mombasa United, most young boys have really changed their life.
And when would you expect maybe Betway also to come in and hold these kids by their hands and reform them? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. So we were looking to encourage people with discipline and a lot of young people that go into crime, they're lost. They have no self-esteem, and this is a program that is encouraging and giving hope, and that's what we help. We hope they'll take away even outside of the soccer field.
They can prepare themselves maybe for the next edition and make sure that they keep away from crime so that they qualify for the Betway talent search.
But then what I was just about to tell you is that through the programs that we have, most of our youth, especially the ones who are participating even in the MISA activities, they have really changed, because we have this kind of programs that are going on. The anti-child labor, issues to do with HIV and AIDS, drug abuse, and so everybody, the over 20,000 MISA volunteers, they've been into this program, and I can assure you that what was there previously has really now changed. So these young boys, they look upon Mathare United senior team, and most of them also want to play in the top flight league. So discipline is key. As you can see with Mathare United, it's a unique club because discipline is one of the things that we are looking at. If you look at the head coach, Francis Kemanzi, he came from, during his heydays as a young player, he also went through that tough, difficult life, and he's been encouraging young boys, to be disciplined. And even they know, when he was in the national team coach, you could see what was happening with the team. So discipline is a key, and most boys have really changed because of that.
How difficult or how easy was it for Betway, to engage Mathare? You are now supporting them also in the Kenyan Premier League, and now this talent search program, you've involved them. Was it so obvious that it was to be Mathare United that would help you in all this?
I think it became clear very early on. We met with Jackton and Bob Monroe as well. We wanted to understand the workings of the club, and also how the finances work, the players, and the life outside the pitch, and what their vision was. And we felt that it merged very well with what we're trying to do in Kenya, because this talent search won't be the one and only. We intend to continue growing talent and giving them channels and opportunities to be seen even in international leagues. So we felt that it was a club that we could grow with.
Yeah, I saw when they were doing the recruitment at Goan Institute, quite a number of kids were there, young people coming there. They were so happy that they were taking part in all this. Now you've come down to the final 16.
Yes.
When are they going to camp, and what will be going on, and where will that camp be?
Great. So we have the final 16, you're right, and the camp will start this Thursday, the 10th of November. We'll go on for a few days. It will be held at the Kasarani Stadium, where they will be having their training sessions and also the different games that play against each other. And by the end of that session, maybe by the middle of November, we will announce who that final grand prize winner will be.
At some point, you had about 88 players from 1600 to 88, now to 16. Only one will go to West Ham and have that experience. What about the rest? Where will they go?
What I'd said earlier is that we also had invited some top coaches just to come, because talent such as
local coaches.
Yeah, local coaches. Yes. Actually, the KPL local coaches. Some were there. Some sent their representative, and I can assure you that I know most people got contacts, being that these players have never participated in any league. So just as one just said, from Thursday, the 16 players will be camping. With the help of also the West Ham coaches, West Ham United coaches. And I know at the end of the day, they'll have a friendly match with Mathare United.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's now the final thing they'll come up with.
Are the coaches already in the country?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thursday is very soon coming up. So yes, they're already in the country, preparing for receiving the 16, because they will be coming from all over the country, as I said before, and also making sure the facilities and the program is ready for them.
So I know most of them will find themselves in maybe Kenyan Premier League come next season. Others will be in the nationwide, because there are some also coaches who are interested with some players. I could see some interacting with the players. As Mathare United also, as you know, we also got some few players here and there that will be, training with Mathare United, and we see how we can help them also to achieve. Because at the end of the day, it was not about, as much as it was about going to, West Ham, but all these other players from different counties, we wanted them at least for them to be seen, and which was a very good achievement for some of them, interacting also with the top coaches.
Yeah, some of these players have come from outside Nairobi, and like you said, West Pokot, Kilifi, all that. How do you help them, to fit into this talent side program? Because sometimes there could be some talent, culture shock, and a kid who has talent just fails to perform. How do you integrate them?
Well, I think the football players all speak the same language, and yes, there might be some tension in the registration and signing up, once they're on the field, they get very excited and they know exactly what to do. We gave them a lot of opportunity and time on the field to play and show their talent. And the coaches, of course, were very instrumental in helping them relax and also merge as a team, because they are meeting each other for the first time at the trials and they're now playing against each other. And so that coaching was very key.
And finally, because we don't have much time, how transparent is the system and the selection going into the last 16?
It will be very transparent. We're sharing, this week we'll be sharing who the final 16 players are and what positions they are playing for. And during the days that they'll be in the camp, the coaches will be obviously putting down and voting. We have a TV crew that is there that is showing exactly how the decisions are being made.
Yes.
So there is nothing behind closed doors. The talent is seen and all the footage will be available.
Okay. Thank you very much, Wanja. Your final comment, because we have to leave. I'm told you are also considering going into politics and mixing it all with football. Is it true that you are going for the Roysambu parliamentary seat?
Yeah, it's true. It's something that I've been thinking about. Having grown in MISA programs and being a leader in different capacity, I thought that it's now time for me now just to take the leadership skills to the next level.
Thank you very much. That is Jecton Obure, the CEO of Mathare United, and also we had in studio Wanja Gikonyo, the country manager of Betway Kenya. Thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you, Tom.
And we hope that the talent search will be fine. Mike, that has been our discussion on talent search. Betway have come in a big way to help identify talent in Kenya.
Which is a good thing, and I think with searching for talent at a young age, we're likely to have more stars coming from Kenya and even playing internationally, which I believe we have no reason not to. It's just that football possibly had been, and maybe sports generally, has been individuals who've come up. But now if it's done, in a more organized manner, we're likely to get more talent.
And soon we'll be giving you Jecton Obure now to politics, because he'll be moving from sports
to politics. Maybe we'll be having on our political arenas and as a panelist. So we wish you all the best. And well, that's where we'll have to wind it up. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you, Robin Toskin, for Sports Chat. And well, from us here on Morning Express, we'll take this opportunity to wish you all a fantastic day. But do stay with us right here on KTN News. Coming up next is Akisa Wandera with World View. Do have yourselves a wonderful and a great day. God bless.